here. Sorry, gentlemen. City status. So as you can see, hot off the press, we have a city status booklet, and I won't read this one right off the hop because I won't bore you guys here, but there's a thick booklet here that administration has put together from all the departments. Looking for city status nomination. There's a lot of stats in here. There's a couple letters of recommendation. Moving forward, this is nothing new that we haven't talked about. I just want to remind the public, I guess we did have a special meeting, and I apologize because I didn't write down the date, but we had Mayor Malcolm Eaton from Humboldt, where council had a special meeting and met with him one night. A couple of the notes that I took was definitely flexibility on tax classes, better promotion of the community, business attraction as far as new businesses coming to town because we are a city. Infrastructure funding for cities was a big one for him when they moved. They've had continued growth since moving to a city in 2000. A huge one that I started was the accessing and networking with other cities. The CEO, Mr. Morton, and myself are going to Meadow Lake on the 25th or 26th to meet with the City Mayor's Caucus group. And it's going to be an opportunity to go through some of the cycles that the cities go through from a bigger perspective. They just deal with more and different situations, and I think there's a huge positive factor in that. The City Act allows more control than the Municipalities Act. There was a number of other things. The only real concern that he shared was that the city status perception from some of the smaller municipalities was that they were telling them what to do instead of working together, and I think we've got good enough working relationships with some of those communities, such as our regional landfill, that I don't really see that as a big issue. Was there any comments or questions with regards to the city status application? It's pretty self-explanatory when I read it. It's very well written. As far as going through it, the booklet is very done, so I commend Mr. Morton and the staff team that put it together. Any comments? Mr. McTaggart?
Thank you, Mayor Henry. I think it's very well put together, and I think we've been talking, we've been around this bush several times, and it's time to pull the trigger and make this application. From what I understand, the deadline is tomorrow. I think along with this council and our administration, if there's any other letters of support from people in Kindersley, we could probably attach them if they were delivered to the office by tomorrow sometime. Is that correct, Mr. Morton?
Absolutely. Any supporting documentation through your worship could be included in the application. We are fortunate to have received letters of support from organizations like Great Plains College and from the Kindersley District Co-op, Synergy Credit Union. I know that the Chamber of Commerce is also submitting a letter tomorrow to be submitted, to be included. Done. And so if there's any last minute letters, supporting letters that would like to be included with this application, by all means, we'd certainly welcome them.
Councilor Johnson?
Thank you. Certainly I would echo Councilor McTaggart's comments. We've discussed city status for a long time. We've got a good working relationship with the municipal government, provincial government, and we have been involved with the City Mayor's Caucus for a period of time. So I think it's absolute, the timing is right, and we'll tie it in with our election this fall.
Just to touch base, I guess, for those that don't know, going to city status requires an election. So I think we've been very efficient in timing this with our election to happen on October 26th, so we're not duplicating that process. So that would be the time frame that it would be taking place. So that's why you see the deadline of tomorrow to go through the government channels that it has to. So, any other last comments before I read it out? All right. Moved by Councillor McTaggart, seconded by Councillor Jansen. Whereas the province of Saskatchewan is seeing an increase in population to historically new highs, And whereas the government of Saskatchewan has recognized Kindersley as the largest community in a growing region in the province and has included Kindersley in the rapid growth community strategy. And whereas the government of Saskatchewan recognizes communities that have a population of 5,000 persons or more as being eligible to formally constituted as city status. And whereas there have been well-documented and acknowledged problems with the accuracy of the 2011 Statistics Canada National Census of Population, and such examples include the Saskatchewan communities of Davin, Outwater, and Keller being reported by Statistics Canada as having no population when in fact the communities and the residents still existed. And whereas a community may make an application to the government of Saskatchewan for city status prior to the Stats Canada census establishing a population of 5,000 persons by using alternative and government accepted methods of determining population, such as Government of Saskatchewan Health Cover Population. And whereas the Government of Saskatchewan Health Covered Population for Kindersley indicates that the population of Kindersley has been consistently above 5,000 persons since 2002, with the annual reports from the Health Region verifying Kindersley population at 5357 in 2015, 5462 in 2014, 5349 in 2013, and 5321 in 2012. And whereas other Government of Saskatchewan ministries or provincial organizations such as Great Plains College, Saskatchewan Economic Development Association, Saskatchewan Chamber of Commerce, and others publicly recognize Kindersley's population as being over 5,000 and use Saskatchewan's health cover population data on their websites or publications. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Kindersley submit the application for city status, which is attached to and forming part of the minutes, to the minutes of Government Relations, Government of Saskatchewan, formally requesting that Kindersley be declared as the next city in the province of Saskatchewan, having reached a Government of Saskatchewan recognized population of at least 5,000 persons, and that such formal designation take effect to coincide with the October 2016 municipal election for urban municipalities. Everyone's asleep? All those in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you again, Bernie, to you and your team for that report.
You're welcome, thank you.